Welcome to the Picky Eating webinar. Over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share 5 tips to help your picky eater become willing to try new foods at their own pace. My name is Carrie Jones, and I'm a registered dietitian that specializes in pediatric and maternal nutrition. I am passionate about helping families achieve their milestones and rediscover the joy of eating nourishing food together, which is why I started my own business, Milestones Pediatric and Maternal Nutrition. I believe that we are all just trying to do the best for our families, but it can be difficult to know how to feed your family due to the overload of nutrition information. I am here to be your trusted nutrition resource. If you're watching this, then I know you have a picky eater at home. You're probably frustrated, overwhelmed, and lost with what to do next. Well, I want to start off by telling you that you are not alone. It is estimated that up to 25% of children are selective eaters. But before we dive into the 5 tips, I want you to sit and think about what you're currently doing at home with your child's picky eating habits and behaviors. Are you catering to their likes and dislikes? Are you ignoring the behaviors altogether? Is there a lot of tension and conflict at home? Take a minute to think about how dinner plays out at home, all the good and all the bad. Now I want you to ask yourself, is my child truly a picky eater? Or is their dislike of certain food textures related instead to an underlying medical condition such as autism? Or are they just distracted when they're eating by what is on TV or by scrolling on their phone? So they're not really focusing on their food? Or are they filling up on snacks and drinks throughout the day? So they're technically getting all the necessary calories, but just not hungry at dinner time. No matter what you said, I want you to know that these tips can still help you. However, these points are important to consider as well because they may be affecting your child's eating behaviors. So let's dive into the first tip. We need to establish a schedule for our children and ourselves because kids thrive when they have a schedule that's consistent. Eating around the same times every day means that we're ensuring they're not just snacking throughout the day, and we're establishing a schedule that helps to make sure their stomach is hungry and ready for food at those meal times. Here is an example schedule. So younger kids need to eat every 2 to 3 hours on average, while older kids can typically go a little bit longer, typically every 3 to 4 hours between meals and snacks. And again, this is just an example schedule. So you can easily slide this around your daily schedule to adjust to your routine. But we typically recommend that everyone, regardless of age, eat 3 balanced meals throughout the day and have snacks in between to tide them over. So in this example schedule, maybe the child is waking up around 6 or 6:30 because we want them to typically eat within the first hour of waking up. And then you can see that they're eating consistently every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day, and maybe they're going to bed at dinner, or sorry, right after dinner around 7. So they don't need to have that bedtime snack. Maybe your child stays up a little bit later after dinner and does need a snack. That's okay too. You just have to find the schedule that works for your family. If you have a young child or toddler, allowing them to feed themselves using a finger or a spoon can make a world of a difference when it comes to picky eating. This allows them to have more control over their food. Self feeding is also so important for their development. I know it can be messy, but it's extremely valuable. If you're trying to serve a new food, start with a small amount. This helps to ensure the food is not overwhelming, and it helps to reduce food waste if they don't like it. Remember, they can always get more if they want. So we want to start small, and if they like it, great. They can have a second or third helping. But if they don't, that's okay too. We don't feel bad if we have to throw some of it out. So this is an example dinner. The plate on the left has 3 tablespoons of each food item, which would be an appropriate serving size for a 3-year-old. But this amount of food to a picky eater can be overwhelming, especially if there are a lot of new foods on the plate. Instead, we want to try serving plates such as the one on the right. This has 1 tablespoon of the foods that they're still learning to love, the chicken and the broccoli, and more of the food they already love, the sweet potatoes. But there's still a lot of white space on the plate. This looks more manageable to a picky eater, making them more likely to try the new foods. Now that we've set up our schedule for when we're gonna have meals and snacks, we're only going to allow water between those times. This helps to ensure that kids are not filling up on snacks or other beverages between meals because meals are when kids get the most nutrients of the day. This isn't to say that they can eat whatever they want for snacks. They still can have good nutrition from the snacks. It's just we want to make sure that they're getting a lot of nutrients from their meals too. We want to kind of focus on the meals and have the snacks just be to help tide them over. So, these are the beverage recommendations from the American Academy of Pediatrics as well as other professional health organizations. Once a child turns 1 and begins to drink milk, we want them to consume no more than 3 cups of milk a day. They should start drinking whole milk around age 1 and switch to skim milk at their 2nd birthday. If your child consumes a lot of other dairy products, such as yogurt or cheese, you could even cut back on the amount of milk even more. But we want them to have no more than 3 cups of milk per day. Fruit juice does count as a fruit serving, but it's essentially just that water that's been extracted from the fruit. So it still has some vitamins and minerals, but it's lost a lot of the fiber. So therefore, we want to limit the juice consumption to no more than half a cup daily. Water. Kids should be free to drink water throughout the day. If your child struggles to drink water, consider allowing them to pick out and decorate their own water bottle to have throughout the day. This helps them get excited about drinking water and makes them more likely to do it if they have that water bottle with them. Other drinks such as coffee, tea, soda, fruit punch, these are all not recommended. Additionally, if you're thinking about supplementing your child with Pediasure or toddler formula, this is typically not recommended. It can hinder their feeding development, and really, it's just not necessary. So if you have questions about this, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. So, most importantly, don't give up. Accepting new foods can take time, and children do not always take to new food right away. Keep offering the food many times and in many different ways. It can take 10 to 15 times before a child is even willing to try a new food. Be patient, keep going, and don't give up. So, let's review our tips one more time. Establish a schedule to make sure that kids are offered food every 2 to 4 hours, depending on their age. Allow little kids to feed themselves to get more control over their food intake. Start with small portions when introducing a new food to make sure it's not overwhelming. Allow only water between meals and snacks. And most importantly, don't give up. Keep offering new foods many times in many different ways. Ultimately, it's your child's decision how much to eat. But as the parent and caregiver, you can decide which foods to offer. So continue to offer new foods to your children and make sure not to cater to their likes or dislikes. Now, I hope you found this helpful. There are so many other tips and tricks that I didn't have enough time to dive into today. But if you're looking for more picky of the eating advice, I have a couple of additional ways you can get more help. The first is through individual nutrition appointments. This is currently for North Carolina residents only. I do have 2 different types of appointments. The initial appointment is the first appointment I have with any family, and it's 60 minutes long. So just 1 hour appointment that I conduct virtually through telehealth. It's completely secure. And together we work to create an individualized plan that meets your family's needs, addresses your concerns, and just fits within your lifestyle. After the first appointment, if you have additional questions or if you just want the accountability, I highly recommend scheduling a follow-up appointment, which is 30 minutes. Now, if you signed up for an appointment today, you would be able to get 20% off using code PICKY20. This is a great offer, and again, it's only today. Just to thank you for watching this and sticking around. So if you go to the link on the page, you can scroll all the way down until you see appointments and click schedule an appointment and get set up today. If you're not a North Carolina resident, but you still want more picky eating advice, or if you are a North Carolina resident, but you're just not ready to sign up for an individual nutrition appointment, I've created a special program just for families with picky eaters. This 2-week program gives parents and caregivers all of the nutrition tools and support they need to teach their children how to learn to eat new foods at their own pace. Families will be able to rediscover the joy of eating nourishing foods together without conflict. This 2-week program includes 2 30-minute picky eating classes with me, the registered dietitian that specializes in pediatrics, 4 detailed e-booklets on how to help your children be willing to try new foods. So these really dive deeper into picky eating further than I was able to today by talking about establishing a neutral dinner table, creating food bridges, and so much more helpful information. And most importantly, and I think the best benefit of this whole thing is that you get permanent access to Healthy, which is the nutrition software that I use to communicate with clients. So there you'll be able to access the picky eating materials and communicate directly with me. Anytime you have a question, if you want to share a success or a story, you can do it through text, you could do it through video, you could do it through picture. And I'm right there able to see it and answer you. So again, if you sign up for this today, you can get 20% off using code PICKY20. Just again, follow the link, scroll down to see classes and events, and under Picky Eating Program, click Sign Up Today. This is an over $200 value for just over $60 with the promo code, so please check it out. So lastly, if you're not ready to dive into an appointment or program today, but you still want free nutrition advice, or if you've already signed up for an appointment or program, but you want it all, then follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, all under Milestones Nutrition. And I post to these sites daily with nutrition tips for mothers and children's, update on new classes, programs, and community events, and so much more. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this webinar, but I also hope that this is just the start of our relationship. So whether you signed up for a nutrition appointment, or you joined the Pick Eating program, or if you just follow me on social media, I can't wait to continue to be your trusted nutrition resource. So if you have any questions, please message me through social media or via email, and I will be happy to answer you. Thank you.